Dr. Chris Webster's instincts were spot on. Everything told him Erin Patterson was a cold-blooded killer who laced a beef Wellington lunch with death cap mushrooms. He was the one who called police from his country hospital, blowing the whistle. This is his story.
She's evil. She wanted people out of her life.
He's the doctor from country Victoria at the centre of one of the world's most gripping trials.
I just told her that she's been exposed to death cap mushroom poison and she's gone. Meticulous, carefully constructed planning of this triple murder.
An icy winter's morning in July 2023. Dr. Chris Webster has just clocked on for a 24-hour shift at the small urgent care department at Leongatha Hospital, 2 hours drive from Melbourne. He doesn't know it yet, but he's about to unwillingly be thrust into the starring role of a real-life murder mystery.
She did not look physically unwell in any way, shape or form. That eerie, distant, not quite there look that she had on her face.
The day after Erin Patterson's fatal feast, Pastor Ian Wilkinson and wife Heather arrive at hospital with suspected gastro.
They were both in the same treatment room. We call it the plaster room, but it's an isolation room for people that might be suspected of having something contagious.
Soon, a panicked call from another hospital where Don and Gail Patterson are being treated. A suspected case of poisoning with death cap mushrooms.
I took a phone call from Dr. Beth from Dandenong Hospital, and from the moment I finished that phone call, I knew that it would be a court case. I knew it would be huge. I felt convinced of her guilt at that point.
Dr. Webster transfers Ian and Heather to a bigger hospital in Melbourne.
Ian and Heather left in separate ambulances, and when Ian left, it was still quite hectic. Things had quietened down a little bit when Heather left, and I saw her get pushed into the back of the ambulance with the collapsing trolley, and after the clanging noise of that, she looked me in the eye and said really very sincerely and humbly and very graciously, "Thank you for looking after me."
It's not until 2 days after the lunch, the killer cook presents to hospital herself.
Once she said the name Erin Patterson, my heart skipped a beat and I quickly ran around and brought her in. I bypassed all the usual triage protocol and looked her right in the eye and said directly, "People at Dandenong suspect death cap mushroom poisoning. Where did you get the mushrooms?" And that's when she said, "Woolworths."
Bizarrely, within minutes of arriving, Erin Patterson makes a beeline for the exit. Other staff try to stop her as Erin hits a button on the wall to open the doors. They exchange some more words before Erin signs this form, a discharge against medical advice.
She literally sneaked behind my back because I would not have let her leave if I had known that she was leaving.
Worried she may die, Dr. Webster calls Erin 3 times, but she doesn't answer. So he calls 000.
Hello, what address do you need the police? This is Dr. Chris Webster calling from Leongatha Hospital, and I have a concern regarding a patient that presented here earlier but has left the building and is potentially exposed to a fatal toxin from mushroom poisoning.
This is the first time emergency services are alerted to the lethal lunch.
When did she present at hospital? At 8:05 today. Yeah. Mushroom poisoning, you said? Yeah, so there were 5 people that ate a meal on Saturday, and 2 of them are in intensive care at Dandenong Hospital.
Nearly 2 hours later, Erin returns.
I directly asked her whether the children had consumed any of the meal. And when she said yes, I felt that knot in the pit of my stomach.
But Erin's reluctant to have them brought in.
She was concerned about the possibility of the children being frightened by the experience of being taken out of school and told that, Grandma and Grandpa have been poisoned. I said fairly bluntly, well, they can be scared and alive or dead.
As Erin's being treated, police find the leftover meal at the bottom of her bin and they bring it to the hospital where another doctor takes a look. For the first time, we can take you inside the killer's kitchen, where Erin Patterson prepared the most unlikely of murder weapons. And this is the unassuming dining room where she used a fictitious cancer diagnosis to lure her victims to their deaths. These images were later discovered on Erin's tablet device. Photos of her weighing what could be the death cap mushrooms in preparation for the lunch. Was this her way of ensuring she had just the right dose of poison? Erin's distinctive red car was later captured on camera as she dumped her dehydrator at the tip, then lied to detectives about ever owning one. Erin Patterson has spent her first night as one of the most notorious female mass murderers in our history. Locked up because of the testimonies of people like Dr. Webster, who came face to face with Erin here in court.
There was a lot of rage in the eyes when she looked at me. There was a level of malice in her glare that you sort of felt a shiver up your spine when she looked at you.
Erin, can you tell us what happened on Saturday?
What happened on Saturday was devastating. It's a tragedy what's happened.
After she spoke with me outside her home in 2023 and cried crocodile tears, Erin gave me her mobile number so we could stay in touch. That number belonged to a phone police never recovered, seen with her at hospital in a pink case. Police claim when they raided her home, Erin hid that phone and handed over a dummy phone instead.
Really horrible, sad, tragic things have happened. Heroic things have happened. Ian Wilkinson is a hero. He turned up to court every day. I like to imagine that the whole time Ian was there, the ghost of Heather was there next to him saying, "You've got this, stay strong." And he did, and we won. And I'm happy about that.
He clearly feels it, doesn't he? And we need to remember at the centre of this, 3 people lost their lives. And so many others are left dealing with the ongoing emotions around it all. And it is incredibly distressing.